Hey guys, it's your favorite YouTuber rageface Studios here, and welcome back to a new epic internet video. And for the next few videos we're just going to be reading off Twitter or news articles because I actually don't have any videos to react to, but I've got some very good news articles because the world is weird. And in today's epic video, which is like a 1 out of 4 things that I'm going to be reading, today we're going to be looking at SpongeBob. And everyone likes SpongeBob. He's a very nice person, posting about stuff such as human torture on the internet, but because that's very cool. Speaking about SpongeBob and human torture, I'm pretty sure that right now I found this article which proves that SpongeBob loves human torture because according to this article, some person from the University of Washington has proved that SpongeBob is violent and racist because recently people have wanted to start attacking fictional characters. Like it's literally got to the point where companies like CNN are going to be attacking movies that are made by their own parent companies, which makes literally no sense. Why are you going to attack your own company so your own company makes less profit? This is actually dumb. But nobody cares, so let's read the epic article now, which is not actually epic and it's very trash. A university professor deemed the beloved cartoon SpongeBob SquarePants violent, racist, and insidious. In a scholarly article, University of Washington professor Holly Barker published her musings on the yellow sponge cartoon character and his deep sea pals in an academic journal called the Contemporary Pacific, a journal of island affairs. This is actually funny, Imagine reading a proper book about the Pacific and then you're like, ooh, what are we gonna learn about? Look how big the Pacific is, and then you're like some in random geography lesson and they're like, SpongeBob SquarePants is racist to the Pacific. Oh my god, everyone's gonna take that seriously. Which features readable, luckily it's in quotation marks because nobody's gonna read about SpongeBob apparently being racist because no one will take that seriously. Articles focused on social, economic, political, ecological and cultural topics. In her article called Unsettling SpongeBob, as if it's some bloody horror movie with Jason Voorhees, and the legacies of violence on Bikini Bottom, Barker's chief complaint hinges on her perception that the show's fictional setting of the town of Bikini Bottom is based on the non-fictional Bikini Atoll. And what's the problem with that? A coral reef in the Marshall Islands used by the US military for nuclear testing during the Cold War, which was ages ago and no one cares. The indigenous people of the area were relocated during the testing, which eventually rendered the area uninhabitable due to I can't say that word. Radiation. Barker finds it unjust that SpongeBob and his pals be able to occupy the area when the non-fictional indigenous people of the area did not have the option to return back to their homeland. This is actually stupid for quite a few reasons. One, they're fictional, they don't exist, and the show is about fish and other animals. It's not about indigenous humans who are trying to survive on an island, okay? We're not watching bloody Walking with Beasts. And two, by the way, as you said in the article, they actually live under Bikini Atoll. They don't even live on the top of it. So, there's no point in saying what you actually said because your point is invalid. And two, I love how it says in this quote, SpongeBob's presence on Bikini Bottom continues the violent and racist expulsion of indigenous peoples from their lands. And it's like a tweet this, I surely want to tweet that and infect my timeline with absolute stupidity. As an American character in quotation marks, because he lives under the sea, SpongeBob supposedly has the privilege of not caring about the detonation of nuclear bombs. SpongeBob has yellow privilege. How dare you not care about North Korea and their epic nukes, even though North Korea isn't even in America, and I don't even know what I'm saying right now. In order to demonstrate this, the professor quotes one of the show's writers who said that the main character is a guy who could get super excited about a napkin but wouldn't care if there was an explosion outside. The detonations do not cause concerns for the characters as they did for the Bikinians, nor did they compromise SpongeBob's frequent activities like visiting hamburger joints or the beach with friends. Okay, I actually have a few things to say. Firstly, the reason why SpongeBob doesn't care about detonation is because it's a children's TV show which is fake, so no explosion happens. Because I didn't imagine that SpongeBob would be out here with a round-ending kill cam when he's bloody in his episodes going around jellyfish fields. But actually, thinking about it, now I get it. SpongeBob, he's been using nuclear bombs to capture all of the jellyfish, and that's how he helped Mr. Krabs start his farm of jellyfish. And now the jellyfish are out seeking revenge, and I'm scared now. And two, I don't even know how an adult is not able to understand this, let alone a bloody professor. But the writer was just trying to explain that SpongeBob is actually kind of stupid. It doesn't mean that he literally doesn't care that bombs are going around, which no bombs go around underwater anyway. SpongeBob and his friends supposedly perpetuate the past injustices against the indigenous people of Bikini Atoll through SpongeBob's occupation and reclaiming of the non-fictional location's lagoon. The setting of the show, Barker says, is symbolic violence because totally SpongeBob's coming in with his big man muscles and his army, and they're kicking people out of jellyfish fields so he can rest there and eat a very nice Krabby Patty, even though he literally got the keys to the Krusty Krab in the first movie, which was meant to be the last episode, until Nickelodeon decided that they needed more money and SpongeBob was the only thing giving them money, so they continued it. Honestly, this is actually just dumb. And look, SpongeBob and everyone who's in the show actually lives under the water. But if you still want to complain about fake characters which live miles under the actual place where you're talking about, what about the fish that live there now? Little Goldie the goldfish, should he get murdered by the US government just because he lives there? I mean, Goldie the goldfish never got permission. He's just a traitor, a trespasser, and he deserves a death sentence for all he's done. How dare he? I'm sorry for any offense that anyone who has a goldfish called Goldie the goldfish has gone through, but once I remember someone in my family literally killed a goldfish just because he was eating one of the other ones. So I don't really care about goldfish. Barker is also concerned with the cultural appropriation of iconic Pacific Island representations, supposedly evident within Bikini Bottom's token objectification of Oceania, taking particular issue with buildings shaped like pineapples. Because the sea owns pineapples, Easter Island statues and tikis. She also laments Hawaiian shirt motifs and sounds of steel guitar that are common themes on the children's show. Barker also attempts to dissect and problematize the cartoon's theme song with academic phrasing. The first act of the song is to have children identify who resides in the pineapple house, he explains. The children's response, repeated extensively throughout the song, affirms that the house and Bikini Bottom are the domain of SpongeBob. The song's directives ensconced in humor. Because a professor is out here finding SpongeBob intros funny. provide the viewer with an active role in defining Bikini Bottom as a place of nonsense, as the audience is instructed. If nautical nonsense be something you wish, drop on the deck and hop like a flame. By participating in the theme song sing-along, Barker says that the viewer becomes an unwitting participant in the co-opting of Bikini story and the exclusion of the bikini. And oh my god. Imagine trying to come up with fake reasons for getting triggered so badly that you really have to just analyze a SpongeBob's theme song, which literally says nothing. It's not racist, it's not sexist, there's literally nothing wrong with it, but yet you still have to complain. Also, actually, why are you complaining about bloody Pacific stuff in a show where all the characters live in the Pacific? And also, even if we move on to American stuff about, like those epic hamburgers, you're also complaining about that as well, like you're gonna do in a second. So, what do you want in there? Do you want to subscribe to Rageface Studios in SpongeBob? Because, that's the only thing that I'm accepting here. While Barker admits that the show's creators likely did not have US colonialism in mind, that's how you prove that you lost your argument. While developing the cartoon, she calls it disturbing that they did not realize that Bikini Bottom and Bikini Atoll were not theirs for the taking. Consequently, Barker suggests that millions of children have become acculturated to an ideology which includes the US character SpongeBob residing in another people's homeland. Now we're gonna have to call up the fish if we want to use any place underwater in SpongeBob. Now this is actually just dumb. As if fictionally occupying non-fictional land was not enough, Barker also accuses the cartoon of being biased against oh my god. The professor complains, she complains too much, that all of the main characters on the show are male, except for Sandy Cheeks, who she suggests was only created to boost the gender diversity of the show. You do realize that the show was created in the 1990s and it's been going on for so long, like not to be sad, but the actual creator was dead. And back in 1990 nobody even cared about gender diversity because people weren't complaining and putting it into literal scientific journals. This is actually just dumb. Also, there's other female characters like, Miss Puff and Pearl, and I'm surprised that Miss Puff isn't dead yet because she always gets crashed into because SpongeBob is very irresponsible. And why am I analyzing SpongeBob for so long and this video's gone over 12 minutes? I'm really ashamed with my life decisions and how this YouTube video ended up being made. The name Bob represents the everyday man, a common American male, much like a Joe Mama. Barker concludes her article by insisting that even though SpongeBob's writers likely did not mean to infuse a children's show with racist, violent, colonial practices, the show is part of a much larger issue, an insidious practice of disappearing indigenous communities who should be uncomfortable with a hamburger-loving American community's occupation of Bikini's lagoon and the way that it erodes every aspect of sovereignty. And Rageface Studios concludes his video by saying that this article was very trash and it was a waste of time. And if you were watching this video as well, it was kind of a waste of time, but you should still watch me because I need some more watch time, and I never want to do something like this again. And this was a very dumb article, and thank you so much for watching. And please hit the epic like and subscribe button because I really need it. I'm on 2 subscribers right now, and bye.
Got me in this party all up in the zone. Hottest Betty's trying to take away my cell phone. Like, come and party, I've been trying to shake you off my mind, but just can't get you off me. Keep it moving, they ain't worth it, yeah, that's what my father taught me. But for now I'm going through the motions of letting go, cause my mind's telling me yes, but my heart really don't know. Your heart